Welcome back. Episode 10 of Water Hose Drinkers Podcast. Today is November 8th. It's a Wednesday. It's approximately 7:14 p.m. and we're thrilled to have you.
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. Well, the real time.
The real time.
The real time.
If you don't live in Eastern Standard Time, get out of here.
L7 Weenie.
Yeah, I'm on Mountain Time.
Dude, so let's get right into it. You know, it's been a while. It's been 2 weeks since the last episode. What you been up to?
I was busy with trying to prep for my real estate career, but things did not go my way on the first test.
Well, hey, there's always next time, man.
Josh, if the spread was 10.5, I lost by 10. That's
Bad beat, some would say.
It was a terrible beat. The worst beat you can ever have. But we're back. Happy to do episode 10. It's pretty cool.
We're back.
We're ready to roll.
What's your song of the week?
Song of the week is Stone's Throw by the Red Clay Strays. It's this little country band, and their lead singer kind of looks and it's got some swag like Elvis. Very good band. Highly recommend.
Very good. Very good. Alec put me on that song prior to this episode, and it's a jam. Red Clay Strays are the shit, man. I mean, they're good. It's my song of the day. Take Me to Texas by George Strait. You know.
A classic.
It's George Strait. Some would say the king of country, but that's really George Jones. I'm serious about it. So anyway,
I have George Strait on my Mount Rushmore, but George Jones is not on there. That's personal Mount Rushmore.
All right, let's hear your Mount Rushmore for country singers.
I'll go real quick. George Strait, Willie Nelson,
This
Tyler
is number
Childers.
one. You started at number one.
This is no order.
Okay.
George Strait, Willie Nelson, Tyler Childers, Evan Felker is the lead singer for Turnpike Troubadours.
Okay, and that's just what you jam to.
That's just my personal.
So me, if I'm flipping on country music, and I have an ice cold beverage in my hand, my honorable mention would be George Strait. My number 4, I'd have to say Waylon Jennings. Number 3, I'd have to say Keith Whitley. Number 2, Hank Jr. Number 1, George Jones. Just want to make you cry, man.
Dude, sometimes you really need that sad country music
Heartache,
in your life.
man. A little heartache. Dude, so next thing we got, the old right answer. So
He's never been wrong.
what are the chances he answers?
I'm feeling good about him this week. 78% chance that he answers right. I'm believing in you.
78%. Let's see. Such a random number, 78.
That's my confidence level.
Not looking good, folks.
What's up, Bevel?
Oh!
Yeah. Y'all didn't think I was coming back today, did
No,
No.
I did. Josh didn't.
you? You know I got it. You know I'm not going to miss it.
I got to take the opposite side. He said 78% chance you answer.
Well, we got it.
What have you been?
All right. Y'all ready for the question?
Yeah, let's hear it.
What is the most iconic touchdown celebration?
Oh. I got to go Randy Moss mooning the crowd.
Dude, I got 2. Number 1 is probably the DK Metcalf, Elijah Moore peeing like a dog against Mississippi State.
Oh,
Lost in the
And
game.
the other
did cost
is,
him the game.
I'm pretty sure it was Terrell Owens when he's playing for the Cowboys, ran in the stands and grabbed the popcorn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's just keep doing this on video.
What about you?
Well, I don't know. The only reason I asked this question because I saw the squabble. Y'all seen that new move that CJ Stroud pulled out The squabble.
The squabble?
Yeah, that's my new favorite dance, man.
I don't know what that is. I'm
Is it better than the
unfamiliar.
gritty? Because the gritty's pretty high on my board.
Yeah, the gritty's all right, but the squabble's the new thing.
Can-
you gotta go.
Can
gotta
you
start squabbling.
can you culture me? Because I don't know what that is.
You're just gonna look it up. It's a dance move.
Okay.
I can send. I'll send you a link to it.
We're gonna
No,
look it up
no.
and
Can
then-
can you send me a video of you doing it personally?
We're going to post a video of Wright doing the squabble.
Yes, that is going on the Twitter. Wright Strickland
Yeah.
doing the squabble on Twitter. Confirmed.
All right.
I need that video.
Yeah, baby.
All right, brother. I appreciate it. I will be in Statesboro here in 2 weeks, man, for the Old Dominion game. So I'll see you there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll be there.
All right, man. I'll see you soon.
See you, Wright.
That was a good one.
That was the right answer.
The right answer.
What a guy.
He likes to call it the right question, but I was like, it's the right answer because we're answering the question. That he
Yeah, but
gives
the right
us.
answer sounds like it makes more sense than the right question. Although you can ask the right question.
That's true. There's no wrong answer.
We'll workshop it.
Questions. So, yeah, what a guy.
What a guy.
What you want to jump into next?
I have a couple of topics of discussion just outside of football because our chunk, our meat is going to be the foosball.
You want to talk quickly about MLB real quick since you got a good bit of it?
Yeah, so the one MLB thing I had was the Braves re-signed Charlie Morton. I think it's a 1-year extension for $20 million, which I think is
Too much.
crazy overpay for somebody that's that close to 40 years old.
I know, no kidding. I mean, they could spend a lot more of that money elsewhere, personally.
I was really hoping that. Don't get me wrong, I love Morton. World Series hero. He's been a freaking trooper for the Braves, but I was hoping they were going to go out and get another bona fide starting pitcher. Because, dude, I feel like so many times we go into playoff series and we have, whether it's going to be one of our starters is down. And we got, 3 guys that we feel really good about, and then we got a 4th bullpen game, and then that 5th game, you got to throw somebody who's on short rest or somebody who's not proven. I want 4 to 5 really good options to starting pitcher.
For sure. And, I mean, they need to improve that bullpen. That's what kind of bit them in the ass, unfortunately, in the postseason. Bullpen was not there at all. And you can't have Max Fried just relying on everything.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Strider is out there throwing gas, and Fried is just doing all what he can. I mean, you can't just have 2 good pitchers. Like, you need some depth, and I don't know if $20 million for a 40-year-old is worth it.
I don't know if that was the best
I'm
decision,
happy that he's
but
back. I'm happy that he's back,
We're happy that you're back,
but not for that much money.
but not for that much money.
So, Alec, I don't know if you saw Jeff Passan. So he tweeted a picture of what the MLB sent him of the supposed award winners, like the NL MVP, AL MVP, Cy Young, whatever.
The candidates.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the candidates. Sorry, I said winners. It was the candidates, but we were talking before the episode of that each name on the first, like it said candidates Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, blah 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 blah, so forth, so forth. Like Ronald Acuna's name was first, Mookie Betts was second, so forth, so forth, so forth, and it went down like Gunnar Henderson's name was first, and then so forth, so forth, so forth. So basically, it had pretty much all the award winners, which aren't really arguable, first.
Yeah, so Passan basically just leaked the award winners before they've been announced by the MLB.
He leaked
But
it.
of everything we saw in there wasn't really any surprises.
No, I mean, like I said, it nothing's really, in my opinion, that anything you can argue. Like it's kind of like, oh yeah, like they deserve that.
I guess this is not necessarily 100% proven true. This is just
True.
assumed because the order of the list was not in alphabetical order, which is how they typically do the candidates.
Yes, correct. I should have mentioned that. It's my fault.
But yeah, I think the NL MVP was Acuna, AL MVP was Shohei, NL Cy Young was Blake Snell, AL Cy Young was Garrett Cole, NL Rookie of the Year was Corbin Carroll, and AL Rookie of the Year was
Gunnar Henderson. Yeah.
So yeah, you heard it here first on the Water Hose Drinkers who the MLB award winners are.
We leaked it first.
You're welcome.
We leaked it first. I did not see it on a TikTok.
Yeah, dude, we just came across that information. The
Like
MLB
right now.
The MLB sent us the wrong email.
Right now,
We're in contact with them.
Jamie pulled it up on the screen for us, dude.
Yeah, dude, Jamie, what a guy.
What else you got for us?
Want to talk a little bit of basketball. Just very quickly, the Hawks are 4-3 right now. Take on the Magic tomorrow night. Dude, I don't know quite. Obviously, 7 games in the NBA is such a small sample size. So, one thing I do know is that the Hawks have 8 players averaging 10 or more points a game, which is the most of such in the league.
I didn't know that.
The leading scorer right now is DeJounte Murray. He's averaging 22 and some change a game.
What's your opinion on Trae Young?
I love Trae Young, dude.
Too inconsistent for me.
I love Trae Young.
And his defense sucks.
He can absolutely turn it on when we need him to, but his passing is very good. I agree his defense is bad, but I think he's such an offensive weapon that it overcomes his defense being bad, which is, there's a lot of guys like that.
Yeah.
DeJounte's been really good. He's the leading scorer right now. Trae Young's averaging 10.5 assists a game. We need a really solid scoring big man. And
Yeah, because they got rid of Clint Capella, didn't they?
Capella's still there, I think.
He's still there?
Double check that for me.
Go ahead, though. Sorry. But yes, I do. They need a big scoring big.
Which I thought that was going to be DeAndre Hunter. Obviously, he's an early first-round pick out of Virginia. He brought him in.
Yeah, he's still there.
Kind of as a defensive man, but expected him to get a deeper scoring bag. He just hasn't quite gotten there. Jalen Johnson looks pretty good so far. Yeah, that's really all I have for the Hawks.
I don't know why I thought Clint Capella left. I mean, I don't really pay attention to the NBA, honestly, instead of like major headlines. I mean, I'd rather watch college basketball, and I've enjoyed this first week of college basketball too. First couple days at least.
I'm not going to say I sit here and watch every single game, but I've been a Hawks fan for so long, it's like, might as well keep going. But I mean...
It's just hard for me to root for the Hawks, dude.
Okay, the peak of college basketball is better than anything the NBA puts out.
True.
But also...
I don't understand this in-season tournament either. I think it's
don't fully
the dumbest
understand
shit I've
either.
ever seen.
We're supposed to be the ones that are sitting here explaining the in-season tournament to
I don't even care.
people watching, but
Honestly.
I have absolutely no clue how that's structured.
Yeah.
I think it's just some kind of moral victory participation trophy.
See, I think that's what it is too. Because like, what's the point of the in-season thing? Like, what does it mean? Like,
There's
they
gotta be
won the
some
in-season
benefit.
tournament. Blah 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 blah. Like,
There's
no,
gotta be
you
some
want the
kind of
freaking
benefit.
finals. Like, nah, man, I was an in-season tournament MVP. Like,
What if-
all right, like, dude, I was a freaking finals MVP. Like, what are you gonna say?
What if the in-season tournament was only bottom half teams and it affected your lottery odds?
Ooh,
That would be interesting.
yeah.
There's got to be something.
So
on the
they
line
don't
for it.
tank.
Yes.
So they don't tank, and you got to fight for something. You got to fight for the number 1 overall pick. Ooh, dude. That's actually a good idea. What's it? Adam
NBA,
Silver,
email me.
you're booted. This is your new, what do you want to call it?
The Archduke.
Commissioner, that's what I'm looking for.
The Archduke of basketball.
Sure, buddy. Sure. No, but I mean, you're right. College basketball is way better. Definitely the peak. I mean, March Madness, man, you really can't beat it at all.
You cannot beat it. Then 2 more basketball notes. The Hoop Dogs opened up the year with a loss to Oregon, lost by 11 points in Las Vegas. It's a little neutral site action. Oregon was 5.5 points favorites, maybe 6 even. Georgia was down 20-something points in the first half and then came back, so made it competitive. I like what Mike White's doing so far. I'll actually talk a little bit about him later on in the show.
They're getting big recruits, too.
They are getting big recruits. The Hoop Eagles lose 84-62 to Georgia Tech. And something I love that I do not understand why they don't do it is why there's not a kind of round robin type deal of Georgia, Georgia Tech, Georgia State, Georgia Southern, Kennesaw, and Mercer, where they all play each other in basketball every year, and then you could do some little award or trophy.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that would be good. I mean, you got there's one up in Indiana. It's like Butler, Notre Dame, Indiana, and somebody else playing like a tournament.
See, that's sick.
Yeah.
But they got a cool little trophy.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is. Keep them talking and I'll look it up.
Yeah, so I'll just go ahead and talk about some of the recruits that Mike White has brought in. That's the head coach for Georgia basketball. Came from Florida. This is now his second season. A couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, he got a commitment from 5-star forward of the 2024 class, Asa Newell, which, I mean, we don't sign 5 stars pretty often, so that's pretty exciting. And then here was the big news. Georgia got a commitment from 2025 prospect, 4-star forward Jacob Wilkins.
I saw that, man.
Who is the
Big
son
time.
of Dominique Wilkins.
Yep. So what I was talking about was, that's a good point, that they need to do this with Mercer, Kennesaw State, Georgia, whatever. They have this Crossroads Classic. It is Notre Dame, Indiana, Butler, and Purdue.
Ooh, that is tight.
And
those are all like big programs.
Yeah, dude. And then like 2 of them play, then the winners play, and then the losers play. That's it. But like, I mean, the state of Georgia could definitely pull that off. I mean,
so I think that's 6.
Do you do a central location?
No, you just do. Everybody cycles through. Georgia plays at Mercer this year. Mercer plays at Georgia next year.
Yeah, I got you. But like, even if you get like a little tournament going on with that, you could just make them do like home games or whatever it is, and then whoever advances to the tournament, like higher seed, gets to host. Just because it's like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's fun, you know.
It is fun.
It would just be really cool to see all the Georgia basketball teams in a tournament, like all playing each other.
It would, dude. It makes total sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Georgia does have a good out-of-conference schedule this year, which they typically do not. I think that.
Who would win?
Right now, Georgia State maybe. Hate to say it.
Yeah. No, Georgia Southern was better than them last year at basketball, but I don't know.
Wasn't Georgia State a tournament team last year?
No, they came in like bottom half of the Sun Belt.
Oh, I totally got mixed up there.
I mean,
Mercer has a good program right now.
I think, you know, just based off, if you just look on paper, Georgia would probably win, but it's also college basketball. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day.
Dude, that is one fun thing about college basketball. Even if it's I mean, obviously, Mercer did it to Duke.
Yeah.
Was that 2014?
Yeah, I was in 8th grade.
They freaking halted everything in our
We stopped school.
that day.
Yeah, we stopped school.
Yeah, so that was my freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
And every single classroom that we went in had the game on.
Yeah, dude, we stopped school too, and like you could go, if you didn't want to watch the game, you could go here, but they had the game on in like the projector in the lunchroom, like I think in the auditorium, like teachers had it on, like it was crazy.
Where were you when Mercer beat Duke in the tournament?
I know where I was. I was at school.
Well, I'm saying, drop in the comments, everybody. It's like
I know.
when the earth stood
That's
still.
what I'm saying. I know exactly where I was. I was in the lunchroom at Stratford Academy watching Mercer beat Duke.
I think I was in Coach Wallace's Bible class.
Yeah, dude. So, what else you got for a little general discussion?
That was all I had.
So, you want to talk about the old dogs?
Yeah, dude, I'll run
So
through
we're
some
kind of
dogs.
on that track.
So Georgia got a big win, much needed win over number 12 Missouri this past weekend at home. They won 30-21. Very clean game from Carson Beck. Two tutties, no turnovers. Defense came up big. Missouri was able to get a couple of jabs in, but they really failed to hit on a lot of stuff in the fourth quarter. Kamari Lassiter did a great job clamping down Luther Burden. Nazir Stackhouse, obviously the hero of the game, comes up with the big man interception to close it out. Yeah, dude. That was just a really solid team.
It was a good team win for Georgia.
That was a good team win. Played some complimentary football. I feel like there is this misconception of Missouri, and people look at Missouri.
Look down on them.
And I think that Kansas right now, more recent success than Missouri, but Kansas gets the same treatment. Or if you look at them, Kansas, Missouri, historically bad.
Yeah,
historically bad.
For sure.
And then they don't think that.
Basketball.
And even if these teams get high rankings, do you think they're fraudulent? And it's like, no, Missouri is a really good football team this year. Yeah. Kansas is a really good football team
for sure.
So, dude, I felt like that was a really big win. Very happy with it. Didn't cover the spread, but I mean, besides gamblers, who really gives a shit?
Yeah,
if you're a
for
Georgia
real.
fan, stuff does not matter. Little look ahead to next week. Another top 12 matchup. Number 9, Ole Miss coming to Athens. It's going to be a 7 o'clock night game. I'm going to be there. I will single-handedly, calling my shot, single-handedly cause a false start by myself.
Who's that coming down the tracks?
Dude, I've heard it's the Mean Machine Red and Black.
I also heard that ain't nothing finer in the land
than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan.
Go
Dude,
Dogs.
Big freaking night game. Kirby is 11-0 in Athens at night since he came in 2016. Ole Miss in that same time span is 8-12 on the road at night.
College game day will be in Athens, Georgia.
College game day will be there. Now, I think that also is crazy to say that since 2016, Georgia has only had 11 home night games. But Ole Miss has played 20 on the road.
That's absurd.
That ain't right.
No, not at all. Well, Kirby doesn't like the night games for recruiting purposes.
For recruiting purposes. This man is always just thinking so
scheming,
strategically.
Man. He likes the noontime kicks.
Also, this is now the third time in Kirby's career that a top 10 team is coming to Athens at night. The only two other times were Auburn when they were ranked 7th in 2020, and we won that one. And then Notre Dame when they were also ranked 7th in 2019, we won that one.
I was at that game.
I was just in Athens for that game. And I don't think I've ever seen downtown Athens that wild after a win. The streets, literally downtown, there were just people completely flooding the street. Like from freaking wall to wall and then across the streets in the parking lot. I've never seen that many people downtown.
You going to go to game day?
Yeah, I'll probably walk by it.
I didn't know if you were going to go post out front 24 hours early like some people.
No, I will not be doing that, dude.
Dude, so Georgia Southern, I don't have any stats or anything like that like Alec did. I'm still kind of hurting, honestly. But, you got to flush it down the toilet, and you're looking to go 1-0 next week. Looking to go 1-0 Saturday. But not a good win, not a good game against Texas State. Their quarterback, TJ Finley, is also 6'7", 260 pounds. I didn't realize that.
I did not know he was that big.
He is an absolute massive individual, dude. Like
Josh was live and on the scene.
I was there. San Marcos is a cool place. It was a cool town, man. I did. Besides the game, I did enjoy my time in Texas. I'm going to Marshall this weekend, so never been to West Virginia before. So that's going to be a new experience.
That'll be pretty cool.
Our good friend of the podcast, Dylan Rosado, is coming with me.
Gonna be chilly?
It's going to be cold. Yeah, I don't know what the weather is, but hopefully Dylan brings us some good luck because the season total is at 6.5. We need one more win to cover the season total.
I'm thinking old D-Roz is going to bring you that added boost.
Last year, he was with us at ODU when we hit the season total. So it was only fair to bring him back. So Dylan...
The return of the king.
Dylan, if you're watching this or listening to this, if you're on Spotify, come on, baby. Let's go.
Bring your horseshoe. Bring your rabbit's foot.
We need luck. We need luck, Dylan.
Nah. We don't need any luck.
You know what? You're right.
Because Davis Brin
He's bringing us to glory, baby.
Water hose drinker.
He's
is
bringing
gonna
us
go
to
out there
glory.
and sling the pill all over the field on the thundering herd. I was gonna make a joke about the plane crash, but that ain't right. So that was a great movie, and sorry about the plane crash.
Can we have a moment of silence?
Yeah, I should probably get one. I'm gonna go to church on Sunday.
All right. Can you take a deep breath for me, Alec?
Let's just keep rolling.
Yeah. So anyway, Dylan, we need it this week, brother. We need some good luck. We gotta do it. We gotta win. It's a must-win game from Georgia Southern. I got a couple gambling picks coming up soon. But last thing I gotta say to you, Dylan, show me the money. And you know, I'm going to say it right here, right now. If we win, I'm going to try to swing an interview with Davis after the game. I don't know if I can pull it off. I don't know if I'm allowed to. But I want to try. If we win.
You got to set up a podium. We got to represent.
Yeah, I doubt that'll happen. But I mean, yeah, I'm going to try. I'm going to try my best. I can't make any promises. But Davis Brin, need your A game, brother, and I know you'll bring it. So looking forward. Jalen White is over 2,000 rushing yards in his career at Georgia Southern.
Awesome.
So yeah, I expect a pretty big win. Defense did not have a good game against Texas State, so I like a good bounce back game. Then you're coming back at home against Old Dominion, and then on the road at App. So definitely for the conference standing wise, we need a win Saturday.
Bounce back game.
For sure. Jaguars?
Jaguars. Bye week last week. Hurt me in fantasy because you know I got that Jaguars bias when it comes to a fantasy draft. Of course I'm taking Trevor. Of course I'm taking ETN. Got Ridley. Got Ingram. Got
Jags
Christian
defense.
Kirk. Jags defense. Got McManus as my kicker. You already know.
Which one of 5 leagues is this? Is this Buzzcut Ballers?
This is spread out across. You want to hear my 5 fantasy league names?
Well, let's hear it.
So I got Buzzcut Ballers because I had a buzz cut a couple months ago. I got Bass to Mouth because Tyler Bass is my kicker on that team.
Clever.
I have in my Dynasty League, my team name is the Alaskan Pipeline because we lay in that pipe every single week. I have Chester's Molesters, which I don't really know where that one came from. And then another one of my perennial leagues is Jagging Off.
Got issues. My team name for the 2 leagues I have, I'm a strictly 2 league guy. I can't do that like you. I have a hard time keeping up with 2 leagues myself.
I do not like the 5 leagues, by the way.
My team name since, I want to say 8th or 9th grade, since I started playing fantasy football, has been Hernandez Hitman. And I will never, ever change it.
You say I have issues.
Hey, they're killers, man.
Dude, they are killers.
We got straight up dogs on this team, bro.
I'm in 3 repetitive leagues and then just had like 2 buddies that needed somebody else, needed a warm body for 2 other leagues. So that is why
since
I'm
we're on
in
that
5 this
topic,
year.
let's share the people our records.
Ooh, dude, I think I counted them up last week and I was like something decent, like 23-17 or something like that across all 5.
I'm 6-3 in the regular league I have with defense and kickers, and then my dynasty league, which we have no kickers and no defense, we add extra flexes, and you get an extra wide receiver too. I'm 6-3 in that league, and then my dynasty league I am 4-5. So I'm going all right. You add them together, I'm winning.
So before last week, I was 23-17. That's 40 games total. 8. That was through week 8 for 5 leagues, and then I went 1-4 this past week. So 24-21. Look at that quick math.
Who did the Jags have this weekend?
The Jags have the 49ers. It's like
at home in Duval.
that fringe friend, that guy that you don't really know, and you're like sitting there listening to him talk about his fantasy team, and you're thinking in his head, like, I couldn't care less to hear about it. That's what we just did to all these people.
Yeah, no kidding. Like the Hernandez.
I can tell you who my flex is if y'all want to hear.
Yeah, dude. I've got Josh Allen in both of my leagues.
All right, back to the Jaguars. So they got a freaking gauntlet coming up. It starts with the San Francisco 49ers coming to Jacksonville. I think the 49ers are 3.5-point favorites. Or no, yeah, 49ers 3.5-point favorites. That one's going to be a tough one. The 49ers look kind of sketchy over the past couple of weeks. Yeah. Had a couple of bad losses, but
have kind of been interesting since they beat the tar out of the Cowboys.
Yes.
So
I mean, and you haven't seen any major injuries. They just added Chase Young. I don't understand what's up with them, but regardless, still very good team. Nervous.
Maybe Cisco will be at that game.
Ooh, we need Disco's energy and love.
Yeah,
there.
Cisco, if you're going to the game, if you're listening to this, we need some energy in Duval, baby.
So Niners start that 6-game run I was talking about. Then it goes Titans at home and at the Houston Texans. 2 divisional games. Texans already smoked us this year. Titans, we always play close. Then you got Bengals in Jacksonville for Monday Night Football. Then you go to the Browns, who are stingy. And then you have the Ravens back in Jacksonville for Sunday Night Football. So we're about to play the 49ers, our 2 biggest rivals, and then 3/4 of the AFC North.
Oof. So the Jets, not a good game. No offensive production at all. No touchdowns. Zach Wilson still, I think he's got 1 interception since taking off the headband. Maybe a fumble, but he's looking pretty solid. This year, I think since I want to say maybe there's only 2 quarterbacks in the NFL that have it's some kind of stat with Zach Wilson and C.J. Stroud. I'm gonna have to try to find it, but it was actually pretty interesting.
And although the Chargers put up 27, I felt like the Jets defense played very well. But when that Chargers offense starts hitting, the combination of Herbert, Eckler, and Keenan Allen that's one of the better trios. For sure. Quarterback, running back, receiver trios in the NFL.
The Jets' O-line sucks, man. They're bad. So looking forward, because there's not really much to talk about, because a lot of sacks, they didn't even score a touchdown. Jets got Raiders on Sunday Night Football in Vegas, and then they go to Buffalo. And then on a Friday night, November 24th, I think that's Black Friday. Yeah, that's Black Friday. They have at home on Prime Video versus the Dolphins. Prime Video sponsored the podcast. And then the next week, they're at home versus the Dirty Birds of Atlanta. And then they are at home versus the Texans. On the road against the Dolphins. At home against the Commanders. On the road against Cleveland. And then on the road against the Pats.
There's a lot of winnable games in there.
A lot of tough road games, too.
A lot of winnable games in there.
For sure. I mean, it just depends on scoring touchdowns, man. I mean, Zach Wilson hasn't been great, but he hasn't been bad at all. Mediocre at best, but we got to get some touchdowns, dude. The red zone offense is bad when we get in the red zone, and it's just trying to march it down the field. They need another guy. And we saw that they tried to go after Devontae Adams and Mike Evans at the trade deadline. But, Garrett Wilson, he needs some help, dude. He's a dog in that locker room and in that wide receiver room. And Mecole Hardman just really, I think he's lost his step and it's not good anymore. And, they got to get another guy because it's so easy to double team Garrett Wilson right now just because they probably nobody's going to get open. And Randall Cobb, I think, probably has the most drops in the NFL right now.
I think it was Uzama.
He's terrible.
That dropped.
He's so bad.
Had one of the worst drops I've seen in a long time in the end zone on Monday night.
He's so bad.
Now, obviously, that touchdown wouldn't have put him in the lead, or it would still been a 2-score game, but that
would have been a touchdown.
There was several minutes left, and I would have hit my over 34.5 teaser. So that really sucks. Uzama, enemy of the podcast.
No kidding. Him and Grayson McCall.
Him and Grayson McCall. The list grows.
So a little gambling corner.
Let's go to the corner. I think it's already been discussed. But we are in an actual corner now, so that's big.
We need a sign. If anybody wants to send us a neon sign, we won't pay you, but you can just send it to us.
We also need a Jamie.
Yeah, and we won't pay you either.
Still accepting applications.
We got to get sponsors.
We'll give you gift cards.
Yes, yeah, Waffle House gift cards or
I was thinking
Gamblers Anonymous tokens.
we'll give you locks.
Yes,
That's what we'll do. We'll pay you in locks.
Yes. So I went 2-1 last week. I'm 16-16 on the season, right at 500. My only loss last week was Georgia Southern, but you know what happens when your favorite team loses and you bet them to cover the spread that week? You bet it the next week. You bet it the next week. We start off with Georgia Southern minus 2.5 on the road versus Marshall, and we also have the under 52.5 in that game. I don't think Marshall's going to score a lot of points. We were talking about earlier, it's got to be a good bounce back game, especially for the defense. Davis didn't really play that bad last week. Didn't play good either, but we know he can bounce back. This is a kind of a big prove it game. Like the defense has got to show out like they did against Georgia State. You got to create turnovers. Marshall has shown they cannot score a whole lot of points.
It will be rather cold.
Prediction here. Yeah, it will be cold. Prediction here. 32-10.
In my mind, I had 27-18.
Ooh, okay.
I'm thinking a weird score because of the cold. The cold just brings out weird scores.
Does 27, what is that added together? Does that still cover the under?
Yes. I think it's 45.
It's
quick math.
I'm not good at math. So next thing I got, after those two, I got Memphis minus 8.5 on the road against Charlotte. Charlotte had a clutch win last week, pretty crazy game. And I don't think they're all that good, and Memphis is pretty solid. So,
Tigers.
And then last thing I got is, you know what? What team do I hate more than Georgia State?
Coastal.
No.
App.
Yes. So that's why we're taking Georgia State -2, baby. Some would call me G5 Josh.
G5 Josh, I've heard people throwing it around.
Locks, baby. 4-0 week. Book it.
Book it. Do you have my total numbers? Because I do not have them written down.
Yes, I do. You went 2-1 last week, and you are 17-12 on the season.
I feel very good about that.
Very solid. Solid.
All right, well, let's make it 20-12 this week. I've been G5 Alec. I might have even been Big 12 Alec. This week, it is SEC Alec. We are going SEC ball. Missouri, a 1-point dog at home versus Tennessee. Tigers money line. Bounce back game after a tough loss at Georgia. You feel confident. You feel good about their performance. Having the number 2 team on the ropes for a little bit. Hammer it. They're going to smoke Tennessee.
Good old Rocky Top. Woo.
No, hate that shit. Absolutely hate that. LSU, Florida, over 63.5. 2 rough defenses and one really good offense and one pretty good offense. Going to be a point fest. LSU is one of the most profitable teams to bet on their over this year, sitting at 8-1 or something ridiculous like that. Then we got A&M and Mississippi State under 43.5. A&M, really solid defense. Mississippi State has not scored more than 13 points in their past 3 games. They are terrible at scoring against Power 5 opponents this year. Haven't scored more than 30 against a Power 5 opponent this year. And A&M has a good offense, not a great offense. I think this is like a 24-10 game, 27-10 game.
Good shit. I like it, man. 3-0 week.
3-0 week.
What were those again? I'm just going to write it.
Missouri money line. LSU, Florida, over 63.5. A&M, Mississippi State, under 43.5.
LSU, Florida, over 63.5. And then what was the last one?
A&M, Mississippi State, under 43.5.
Gas. Let's go. We're looking to go 7-0 this week.
We're
7-0.
We're
Let's
so
book
due
it.
for a 7-0
We're due
week.
it. I got a good feeling about this weekend, man. I think everything's going to go right. So I can't wait to recap next week with some money in my pocket.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically. So, Cisco Disco Moore. He has gone 2-2 each week. He is 4-4, so he's not slipped in the losing column yet. So he is continuing our celebrity guest picker right now. So as long as he doesn't have a losing record, he's good to go. So he's got 4 picks in store for us this week. Alabama minus 10.5 against Kentucky. Michigan minus 4.5 against Penn State. The Charlotte Hornets minus 2 versus the Wizards. I think they're playing right now, honestly. And the Bengals minus 7 versus the Texans.
He is big on the favorites this week.
Cisco likes the favorites, man. I mean,
Ain't their favorites for a reason.
look, he's right at 500, even money. Why not us?
Alabama minus 11 on the road at Kentucky feels like kind of a thin line. But, Kentucky's going to be a tough out. They're a good ball team. Physical, run the ball well. I think
Yeah.
Alabama will cover that, though.
I don't know anything about NBA, but I trust Cisco. Alabama's the only sketchy game to me on his list.
I don't know too much about the Hornets, but I do know that Brandon Miller, the rookie's been doing pretty well.
Yeah, and I like LaMelo Ball. He's good.
You would like the Ball brothers.
Dude, LaMelo's gas.
LaMelo is good.
I mean, Lonzo can't stay healthy.
Dude,
The other one's
what's the forgotten one?
Leangelo.
That poor guy.
Yeah. But, I mean, basketball's a hard sport, man. Obviously, he's good. You know what I mean? But
Well,
there's so much talent.
not even skill-wise. I just feel like the way they've marketed their family that he's just been left at the wayside.
Yeah, no kidding. He has been kind of MIA one. Except when he got arrested in China.
That was him?
Yeah, that
I
was
can't remember
him.
which one that was.
That was him.
Leangelo, we want you on the podcast. We don't even want your two brothers. We won't even
We
talk about
definitely don't want your dad.
it. Well,
I get a lot of views.
I think that would be a good one.
That would get a lot of views.
LeVar, you can come on too.
Yeah, but you got to sponsor the podcast. Imagine if we had a Ball Brothers shoe like right in front of us.
No, dude, we need our creative freedom.
Yeah, but if he gives us money.
Okay. All right. And you got to buy us a Jamie.
Yes, and a private jet. So, dude, Pepe's weekly 4-pack straight off the zero turn Toro. He went 1-3 last week, but it is all right. He is, let me check, 21-19 on the year. So, he's still in the green. So, you can't hate on that. He texted me. He was like, man, Vegas got me this week. But you know what we do? We turn around and we give it right back to him, baby. Sorry.
Oh, that was aggressive.
Right back. Stick it right where it hurts in Vegas, baby. We're taking their money this week.
You're going further down the slope.
We're taking the money this week, baby.
We're taking the money. And he's not hypothetically doing it. We're hypothetically doing it. He is in a legal gambling state. So
Yes. And Cisco is soon to be in a legal gambling state here in less than a month, too. And down in Florida.
Wait, Florida's implementing it?
Yeah, dude.
Ooh, casinos there are going to go crazy.
That's what I'm saying. We got to go to one.
Crazy.
We got to go to one over the Christmas break.
Oh, yeah, we definitely have to.
We got to make a trip to see our friend Cisco. So Pepe, he's got UNLV minus 5.5, which I love. Georgia Southern minus 2.5, which I really freaking love. Dylan, this is for you. Clemson minus 14.5, and Rutgers plus 1.5.
Who does Rutgers play?
They've got Iowa
Iowa.
or something like that.
That's a spooky game.
Rutgers.
What's Pepe's record for the year?
20-16.
20-16. Just saying. I'm just saying. If you are in a legal state listening to this, or if you want to hypothetically take him in your mind, like us two, you would be hypothetically profitable by taking all the water hose drinkers picks.
Oh,
just
100%.
saying.
I mean, I'm right at 500. I hadn't dipped into the losing column. I mean, if you take all these bets that we have said, you'd be in the green.
You could have bought your mom a new house.
No kidding. I just bought my mom a house the other day. Who's your winner of the week, bud?
Winner of the week, we already got into him a little bit, but it is Mike White. Even though we did drop game 1 versus Oregon, still a tough fought game against a really good opponent. And I'm more so putting him in the winner spot because of his recruiting. Got the 5-star in Asa Newell in the 24 class, and you got 4-star Jacob Wilkins, Dominique's son, in the 25 class. They're trending up for another 5-star in the 24 class. Buddy is hot on the recruiting trail, and I think that Georgia's going to be a tournament team in 2 years. And I think that the NIT is not too distant of a thought for Georgia this year.
No. I mean, NIT's always fun. I mean, I'll still watch a game here and there.
I'll watch Georgia play. I'm not going to watch the whole NIT.
Yeah, I mean, March Madness is...
But I don't think Georgia's quite a tournament team this year. They could, flirt with it. They could be end up ranked in the 70s or 80s, but
yeah.
SEC is so tough. So tough.
Kidding. So my winner of the week, got to go out to CJ Stroud, man. I mean, whatever dance move that Wright was talking about.
The squabble.
Yeah, I need to
I've got some
get refreshed on that.
creative images going on up here of what the squabble is, but I feel like it's not going to be what I think it is.
Yeah, well, it's... See, I thought it was, like, inappropriate for a second, but then I was like, obviously he wouldn't do that. Like, we would have heard about
They
it.
would
if he
have
would've
fined
gotten-
his ass, for sure.
And we would have heard about it. But I got to figure out what the hell a squabble is. So if anybody wants to drop a video in the comments on Twitter or YouTube of them doing the squabble, please.
We will post it on the Twitter if you send us a picture.
Please do
a
it.
video of you doing the squabble.
The best one gets a gift card to Chick-fil-A.
Yep.
A $25 gift card to Chick-fil-A.
Ooh, the stakes are high.
That's what I'm saying. It's a winner. Probably nobody's going to do it. Hopefully Wright does, but stakes are high. We got to get the comments flowing,
Mm-hmm.
So my loser of the week, Air Force. I mean,
The troops, Josh?
the football team, brother.
Damn, dude,
The football team.
that's tough.
They kind of laid an egg against Army. Air Force has looked good all year. They were undefeated and then didn't even score a touchdown against Army. And I'm pretty sure they haven't had more than 2 turnovers in a game this year, and they had 4. Pretty sure 4 against Army.
Army's not that great.
No. I think that's their 3rd win this year.
We are very anti-troops right now.
Yeah, go Navy.
All right, we like the Navy.
Who's your loser of the week?
My loser of the week. How could it be anybody else other than Caleb Williams,
Boo-hoo.
dude? Caleb Williams.
Boo-hoo.
I know. If you're a USC fan or if you're just...
I
guess-
laughed so hard when I
a-
saw that.
a
man.
sympathetic person, then you're going to be like, oh, it's emotional, blah, blah, blah. No. Michael Penix. Damn it, dude. I was thinking of Desmond Howard saying big Penix energy. Michael Penix lost his dad 2 or 3 days before the game, and then was tearing up in the press conference. That's
awesome.
emotional. That's like gut wrenching. That's heartfelt.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, after losing out and I guess losing your shot at the playoffs, going over there
They
and
been lost that.
balling like a bitch to your mom, it's different.
And out of the top 25.
Football is an emotional sport. It brings about, great happiness, great sadness. I cried during a football game. Not during. Well, probably. I got smoked and started crying. But anyways,
I cried when Georgia Southern beat Nebraska last year.
I cried when Georgia won the national championship.
So we cried together we cried together hugging each other when Georgia won their first national championship.
It's emotional.
Against Alabama.
But
I cried when the
Williams
Braves won.
going over to his mom and sitting there and like moving like this, uncontrollably sobbing. Get your shit together. Not to mention he dissed Max Duggan for doing something way less
Oh, for
on
sure.
national television.
You know, I got something to say. What a baby back bitch.
Baby back bitch. Caleb Williams, enemy of the podcast.
I wanted to say something else, but I'm not going to say that word on here.
Yeah, I'll just keep that to yourself.
I'm not going to say that. I feel like baby back bitch is more acceptable for YouTube. So, don't find me. Why would they find me? It's because I'm on the active roster. You know what I mean? So, you want to tell the people what our Mount Rushmore is this week?
Mount Rushmore is... I think we kind of went two different directions with this, but I have written down worst things to get when trick-or-treating, and I went more the direction of worst things to give a kid when trick-or-treating. Like things you definitely should not put in the bowl out in front of your house.
And I just kind of did worst things in general. So it's kind of funny, but Alec is really specifying, like he said, worst things to give a child while they're trick-or-treating.
Yes. You want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. So my honorable mention, just because I know this is going to be on Alec's list, razor blades. I'm not too sure why those are a thing and why that's going on. And people need to stop that because that's terrible. Like, we've got a whole lot of, like, Halloween candy at our house. Just because, like, in the neighborhood, like, we handed candy out to kids on Halloween and stuff like that. And I've been kind of smacking on some candy lately.
I've been crushing.
I'm devouring Reese's peanut butter cups and Skittles. But that's all I can think about is like a razor blade in there. But number 4, when I was a kid, there was always that one dentist that handed out toothbrushes. And I was always like, dude, screw this guy. Like, nobody wants toothbrushes on Halloween. Like, it's supposed to create cavities in your mouth. You don't want to get rid of them. Like, that's no fun.
Exactly.
Number 3, Almond Joys. Pretty self-explanatory. They suck. Easily the worst candy out there. Number 2, I thought this was kind of funny. My number 2 and 1 are just kind of a random thought that I would think, just be funny. Number 2, an onion. Number 1, a rock. And my honorable mention is a pine cone. Like, just imagine if you walk up to somebody's door and you just see a bowl of onions. Or like a bowl of rocks. Oh, what kind of candy did you get, little Johnny? I got a rock.
I'm going to go with depressing. If I was a kid and walked up and got a rock, I would be pretty freaking
You'd be
sad.
so mad.
I'd just be upset, man.
Yeah. Or just like if you're a kid and you just see a bowl of onions, like, Mom, like,
The onion would
the hell am I supposed to do with this onion?
The onion would throw me off. All right. My honorable mention is Heath bars. Mid candy bar. A sorry excuse for candy. Coming in at number 4. Worst things to give a kid: cigarettes. Probably not a great idea. Number 3, razor blades. Number 2, ecstasy. And number 1, also almond joys.
Can we specify on the cigarettes what brand?
Marlboro Reds.
The Cowboy Killers.
If I'm giving them out to kids, I'm gonna make some cowboys.
Marlboro Reds.
Starburst and
Airheads.
I'll get down with some Airheads from time to time.
I love
like
Airheads,
Milk Duds,
dude.
maybe not my favorite.
I love Milk Duds, bro. Milk Duds are like, that's my go-to movie.
Nestle Crunch, not my favorite.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cup is OG.
Oh yeah, that's unbeatable.
Did the Snickers, Skittles. You know what was always like great when you were a kid is the Pixie Sticks.
Just literally straight sugar.
Dude,
down
just
the
get you
gullet.
freaking wired like you're drinking coffee or some shit, like you're on an Adderall. Like, God, absolutely wired off some damn straight sugar. So, we are not doing a separate chaos theory. Oh, I forgot to give you one word. Dude, I'm sorry. I completely broke the rules, man.
You did.
Completely broke the rules.
No, we were just rolling about candy.
Bad. Like all of those are just bad for you, man.
Especially the almond joys.
They outweigh everything else on that
There's
list.
a reason why they're number one.
Yeah, screw you, Almond Joys.
All right. We do have a chaos theory for y'all.
Yes.
And it's a bit of a condensed one, so we're just going to tack it on here.
So basically, long story short, to kind of start it off, Mariano Rivera volunteered to pitch while he was getting scouted by the Yankees due to a bad performance by one of his teammates, and it ultimately led him to getting signed by the Yankees. So this is not like a crazy butterfly effect like we've seen in the last previous episodes, but we thought this was just a good one to fill on the back end of this episode. So the Yankees first started scouting Mariano Rivera as a shortstop. Scrawny kid, 150 pounds, 160 pounds. And so the Yankees were scared about his potential to hit at a higher level. So they just ultimately stopped scouting. So Yankees happened to get a second look in 1989 at the Panama National Amateur Tournament, which a lot of scouts, go to, not just the Yankees. They just happen to be there. So Mo's team got smacked early. They were down, and like I said a second ago, Rivera volunteered to pitch. So he pitched pretty good. Not much of a fastball, but he just had left, right, up, down. I mean, he had movement. I mean, as what we saw in his MLB career. He could beat you. The cutter was nasty, dude. Through circle change. And so they could tell he was a good athlete. They already knew that, and they were like, man, he's got a good arm. Maybe we got something here. So they invited Mo to a tryout, and after 9 pitches, they signed him for $2,000 in February of 1990. So basically, the little butterfly effect we have here is, what if Rivera's teammate pitched pretty well that day? Would Mo ever have a reason to toe the rubber? Would he have ever volunteered? I don't know. Would he have simply been an infield prospect that didn't pan out? And this is a 82-60 career record, 22.21 ERA, 1,173 strikeouts, 652 saves, which is an MLB record. And his career lasted from 1995 to 2013. 13-time All-Star, 5-time World Series champ, World Series MVP, ALCS MVP, 5-time Reliever of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, and 3-time regular season saves leader. First time unanimous Hall of Famer either.
Dude, what a career.
Off of pretty much a volunteering to pitch in a random game.
That is absolutely nuts, man. I mean, it's the best closer of all time in MLB history.
Oh, no question about it. Mo is an absolute legend. I mean, and I like doing these, man. I mean, you find stuff like this you didn't even know about. And, that's pretty much all we got for today. And, I appreciate y'all listening in.
A little bit of technical difficulty. Oh,
Good, it's back. We're about to start talking about candy again.
All good, people. All good, all good, all good. So anyway, while Alec gets that going, basically Mariano Rivera, again, volunteered to pitch and ended up becoming an absolute Hall of Famer. Absolute beast. And, that's all we got for y'all today. And we really appreciate y'all tuning in. Stay tuned if you're on YouTube for the Gunnar Watson interview. And if you're on Spotify, jump over to our YouTube or Twitter to watch the interview. So, Alec, you got anything else to say for the people before we get out of here?
What is it that Ray always says? Be Lions.
Be Lions!
This week.
Be Lions.
We are hypothetically going to make Vegas bleed this week.
Be sure to like and subscribe. Love y'all. Be safe. God bless.